welcome everyone back to Mr. Dar Weather Update. In today's video, we'll look at the live radar, look at the UKV, have a look at the temperature for the next 5 days, and the temperature as well, look at the GFS, ECM, and you can only run for the next couple of weeks. Will also take us to the mid to late August. I'll have that for you in a moment as well. And I do apologise, I wasn't uploading yesterday. I was a bit busy, so obviously I couldn't really upload on them days, but back to frequent uploading for now. And I have your forecast for you in a bit, so there's a lot to cover. You can see there's a lot of weather to cover, let's say, today. So if you do have a look at the live radar, you can see there's a couple of showers around. Not as intense as yesterday, as you would notice. There was a lot of thunderstorms around in the north, which is quite surprising, really. And some heavy showers as well. Got a few heavy showers here in Leeds. And one rumble of thunder, that's it. How disappointing is that? Anyway, you can see here there's a few light showers around. Not got a lot of energy, if I'm being honest. Not as much as yesterday's. May spark up a little bit more in the afternoon, but probably not going to amount to much at all. Showers in Scotland. These will develop later into thunderstorms. And that will bring us on to a weather warning of a thunderstorm in North East Scotland. Bit jealous, but okay. Yellow warning for thunderstorms, and that's going to run from 1 o'clock today to 9 o'clock. Slow moving heavy showers and thunderstorms will cause some disruption. Obviously, that means we're going to get more likely of flooding, standing water, hail, delays to trains, short-term loss to power, flooding, and lightning strikes. Some details. So these are slow-moving heavy showers as well, and we've also got thunderstorms who are likely as well to come up with this. So this is going to be after 1 o'clock, so this is afternoon, where they're more energetic. We're going to have lightning, gusty winds, and hail most likely in these showers, perhaps even torrential rain. So yeah, 15 to 25 millimetres of rain in 1 to 2 hours, which obviously that will cause a lot of flooding, especially if it's slightly dry. Perhaps even 40 on the hills if that had to happen over a course of a couple of hours. So this has a medium likelihood but a low impact, so that means it's a bit more likely than not. And these are the areas affected, so that's Central Tayside, Grampian, and the Highlands. So do be careful of that. And you can see here a little bit of a better idea of what this thunderstorm warning is. With this is a little bit better really to read off because it was quite accurate yesterday. Anyway, I really could see a storm in the northwest of England between now and Thursday for Northern Ireland, Northern England, and most likely northeastern Scotland as well. Where we've got that warning area, we could have some strong thunderstorms. In the blue, we could have normal thunderstorms and showers if you go instantly closer to that blue line. So now, if we have a look at the UKV, have a look at the temperatures for the next 5 days. But firstly, I'll look at the wind gust because it's going to be quite gusty today. And it's already a bit gusty here in Leeds. A bit blustery at the moment. About 30 miles per winds. And that's going to increase as we go throughout the day. So let's look at the latest. And you can see why. Well, we've got a bit of a tightening of ice bars in the northwest. So that's going to bring some quite strong winds at times. A bit calmer in the northeast, though, where we've got a thunderstorm warning. But you can see here, parts of Yorkshire, northwestern England, and northwestern Scotland, we could see gusts up to 40, perhaps even 45 mile per wind gusts. So quite unseasonable, but again, just be aware that it could be a bit gusty out there at times. Excuse me about that. Yeah, there's just tiny ice bars, meaning that we're probably going to get some more stronger winds at times today because we've got low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south. Obviously that's going to bring winds in from westerly direction. It's quite a brisk westerly direction as well. So that's something to be wary of at the moment. But yeah, around western Irish coast is most likely to see the strongest of wind gusts, where 42 mile per wind gusts are likely in that area. And even throughout the night, it could be quite gusty at times. Just be aware of that, just to let you know. Anyway, looking at the precipitation, you can see, not precipitation yet. Where is it? Precipitation and cloud cover. You can see a lot of showers around and obviously thunderstorms in... Oops, that's Thursday, there we go. So yeah, like I said, a lot of showers, especially in the northwest, and a lot of thunderstorms as well in the northeast. See the oranges and reds over there are more likely to be the thunderstorms, but further south, more likely to be some heavy blustery showers with that brisk wind. And that's going to move out throughout the day, so a mix of sunshine and showers for the north. For Thursday, I just skipped it by accident, but yeah, quite similar today. A little bit less showers, if being honest, but still a little bit more cloudy. But that will break out throughout the course of that day, bringing some widespread clear spells. And you can see here for Friday, you can see, yes, you can see for Friday, we have quite certain conditions, a bit less precipitation though. I think high pressure is starting to build in again, which we'll look at in a moment. And there's still some precipitation and rain in the far northwest of England. Still a bit wet there at times, but a nice clear day for Saturday morning. Otherwise, first half is not too bad, but the second half of Saturday could be a bit unsettled. A weakening weather front moves in, bringing some patchy, moderate rain at times, even to the south at times. You can see some heavy showers likely. Also on Sunday as well, and a bit more showers around on Monday before we get a little bit of a change to the temperatures as high pressure ridges in from the southwest even. Looking over to the temperatures, you can see, obviously, it definitely is a lot of a fresher feel today, of course, and obviously today is showing a lot cooler, more seasonal temperatures, really. As you can see here, northwestern Scotland, are more likely to be in the low teens, a bit, undercooking a little bit, but, if that happened, obviously be in the low teens, and some areas in the single digits in Scotland. A bit warmer in eastern Scotland, though. 20 Celsius is still likely, so feeling present there if it was a bit sunnier. Northern England, you can see here we're widely in the mid-teens, so mid to high teens, maybe 20 degrees in Far East, but otherwise mostly around 18 degrees today in Northern England. The rest of areas are in the low to mid-20s, around average for time of year for now. I've not really seen these temperatures very much this summer, but 24, 25, perhaps even 26 Celsius, still a little bit above average in East Anglia area. And if you look for tomorrow, it might be even fresher for some, especially in the southern areas. Again, summer temperatures for Scotland, still in the low to mid-teens. So still the low to mid-teens likely, perhaps even high teens in some areas. And you can see here, probably 18 degrees in eastern Scotland. So again, it's going to be a little bit cooler there, if being honest, but still, not feeling too bad if it was a sunshine. Northern England, we're likely to be in the mid to high teens, maybe 20 degrees is likely to see. So we could see probably 18, 19, perhaps even 20 or 21 degrees in northeastern England. And as we go for the rest of areas of central southern England, we're for once below average. We're only in the low 20s and high teens. The highest we could see, 21, perhaps 22 Celsius. So very fresh indeed, very quite cool for the time of year, if I'm being honest, in some areas, especially in London. Then as we go over to Friday, warms up a little bit, just a tad. Starting with northwestern Scotland, we're still in the low to mid-teens. Highs we could see is around 19 degrees, a touch warm in some areas, but still around the same really, a bit more widespread in the 17 and 18 degrees in northeastern Scotland though on Friday. Then over to Northern England, again a little bit warmer, high teens, low 20s, 21, 22 Celsius, getting around more to an average for the time of year. The rest of areas, that's central and southern England, we're in the low to mid 20s again, 23, perhaps 24 Celsius, around average for the time of year. Over to Saturday, we do start to see things warming up even further. So we're still quite fresh in Scotland, if not a little bit fresher there, when we're closer to Atlantic weather systems. It's around low 20s, low teens, mid to high teens is likely in that area. So we'll consider 19 degrees at the maximum. But most of the areas in Scotland will be lingering in the low teens. So again, quite a fresh feel for there, and a bit below average for them as well. And over to Northern England, again quite similar, if not a little bit warmer. We're in high teens, low 20s, perhaps possibly even the mid 20s in some areas. 25, 26 Celsius is likely in northeastern England. The rest of areas, central and southern areas, especially in central areas, we're likely to see the mid to high 20s. Once again, 27, 28, can't even rule out the possible 29 Celsius on Saturday. Back into the heat wave conditions once again, which is a bit ridiculous. Sunday, we can see for Northern, again, Scotland, we're still lingering in the low to mid-teens, perhaps even the single digits in some areas, but really, low to mid-teens. Northern England, a bit fresher in the west, though, so mid-teens, perhaps high teens in that area, perhaps even low 20s in the east. But as we go into East Anglia, though, we still have that heat. Highs are perhaps 29, possibly 30, depending on obviously the cold front moving in. Perhaps that will break it closer, but still a likelihood of seeing 30 Celsius in that area. Otherwise, we're in the mid 20s widely in southern areas. So a bit of a short-lived warm spell, but that might not be it, if you know what I mean. There could be further warm spells at times, which we're going to have a look at in the models to come. Alright, so let's have a look at this then. GFS models. If you have a look at the GFS, you can see we have a low pressure to the north, bringing some showers and longer spells of rain, and a bit of a tiny ice bounds there in northwestern Scotland for the GFS. Into, obviously, weekend, we do get a brief ridging in Scotland, in southeastern areas on the continent. So we're likely to see some heatwave conditions for a time. It then turns fresher again on Monday, but then another ridge of high pressure moves in, bringing some warm, if not hot air from the continent. After that, though, we're likely to see a little bit more unsettled conditions. So 16th of August, we could see an area of low pressure moving in, and probably going to bring into some changeable conditions at times throughout mid to late month, with a bit of windy conditions at times. You can see with the tiny ice bars, that could be a named storm, actually, if that had to verify. We'll have to see. Really, really quickly, looking at the temperatures, what it's suggesting. Obviously, it does like to overdo the temperatures sometimes, does the GFS. But that doesn't mean it would happen. But if we have a look and see where this hot spell is likely, we're more likely to see in the mid-30s from the GFS. So we'll have to see what happens there. So just a few different ones saying different things. This one's saying 34 Celsius, 35 maybe, but quite widespread though, if I'm being honest. But that's the 0Z run. I know the 6Z run was a little bit different, if I can find it. 6Z run said around 37 Celsius. So obviously there's a few different temperatures to look out for, but it's unlikely to get that hot, obviously, again. We're in August now, we're not in July or June. So we're unlikely to get that hot. More likely to be around average. We're more likely to be an average heat wave. So yeah, just more like typical heat wave conditions, really. Perhaps becoming more widespread into northern England at times, of course, but not a guarantee. But obviously, if that happened, that's obviously would verify. Well, we'll have to see what happens in the next couple of days. If you have a look at the ECM, you can see, again, quite similar to GFS at the start. Low pressure to the north, bringing some winds and pushy showers at times and thunderstorms to the north. Obviously, you've got a brief transient ridge there in early August, that could bring quite warm, if not hot, temperatures at times. So warm, if not hot temperatures. Then it will be turning fresher again from the northwest, especially. But then we've got another ridge of high pressure moving in, quite firmly, actually, according to the ECM. but could be a little bit more unsettled as we go into mid-month. But yeah, there's definitely brief hot spells possible before turning a bit more changeable. If we look at the temperatures at 850 HPA with this temperature run, you can see suggesting quite warm tropical air masses, so 17 or even 18-degree isotherm possible within the southern areas. And even in northern areas, could be quite warm at times on the 12th. This is the 12th of August. The ranging values from 27 to 32 Celsius. That's the most likely temperatures, if that had to verify. But we do have hotter ones as well. Finally, the UK Meteorone. Again, we've got low pressure to the north, bringing blustery showers at times with the transient ridge in the weekend. And fresh conditions at times on Monday, so that's a bit of low pressure there. And then high pressure builds back in again. So changeable with a few hot spells at times is the most likely outcome with this with these ones, with a mix of hot weather for the south, bringing some high pressure in from the Atlantic, and then obviously Atlantic weather systems tries to push in, so it's not a sustained heat wave, if you know what I mean. So we're not unlikely to see something nationwide. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.